Hi guys, I hope you all are doing fine. Stay happy, stay healthy, and special wishes for Happy Janmashtami. Today in this video we are going to discuss the NCERT questions for class 7 science chapter 2 nutrition in animals. Let's get started. Before moving on, I request all of you to take out your NCERT books because I have not written the questions. I'll be giving the answers. So starting with the first question. The first question is fill in the blanks. And the first blank is the main steps of nutrition in humans are. Well, before giving the answers, we had discussed the steps, the 5 steps in the human digestive system, right? I hope you guys remember. If you remember, please keep on writing the answers in the comment section so that I know that you have been following well. And if there are any doubts, you can leave the doubts in the comment section. The 5 steps were given in the first video for this chapter. You can find the link in the description box. So, the answer is ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and ingestion, right? These are the 5 steps of nutrition in human digestion, right? The second fill in the blanks is the largest gland in human body, right, is liver. This also we had discussed in the videos, and the largest gland in the human body is liver. Clear? The third one is the stomach releases hydrochloric acid and dash juices which act on the food. So if you remember in the second video we had discussed this, that what are the functions of stomach. It produces 3 things. One is the mucus which protects the stomach, second was the hydrochloric acid which makes the medium acidic, and third was the digestive juices which act on the food. So the answer to this question is digestive juices. Juices is already there, so I've written only digestive, right? The last fill in the blank is the inner lining of the small intestine has many finger-like outgrowths called the villi, right? We had discussed this, that there are many finger-like projections present in the inner lining of the small intestine which help to increase the surface area for absorption, and these projections are called the villi. Right? I hope you remember. Keep on practicing and revising the topics so that you don't forget, and you can refer to the videos for revision, right? The second question is true or false. Let me read out the statements first and then we'll discuss them. So the first statement is digestion of starch starts in the stomach. Is it true or false? Think. Where does the digestion of starch starts? Yes, this was discussed in the first video. The digestion of starch starts in the mouth itself, where the salivary glands secrete saliva which acts on the food and breaks the carbohydrates present in the food into simple sugars. So this statement that digestion of food starts in the stomach is false, right? So the answer to this is false. Let's look at the second statement. Tongue helps in mixing food with saliva. Right? Is this statement right? Yes, this is absolutely correct. It is one of the function of tongue to mix the food and saliva well. So this statement is true. Okay, moving on to the third statement. The gallbladder temporarily stores the bile. If you remember, the bile is secreted by the liver and it is stored for some time or temporarily in the gallbladder, and then it is sent to the small intestine where it acts on the food, right? So this statement that gallbladder temporarily stores bile juice is correct, is true. So this is true. Let's look at the last statement. The ruminants bring back the swallowed grass into their mouth and chew it for some time. Is this true? What is this food called when they bring back the food? That is the cud. You remember this was discussed in the last video for this chapter. So the cut comes back in the mouth, where they chew it again and break it mechanically into small pieces, and then again it is sent to the stomach for digestion, right? So this statement is also true. Coming to the third question, which is the MCQ. In this question, you have to tick mark the correct option. So the first question says, fat is completely digested in. So out of the options given, the third option, that is the small intestine, is the correct options. Okay. So if you remember, the fats are broken down in the small intestine, and in the small intestine, the complete digestion of food takes place, right? Okay. The second part is, water from the undigested food is completely absorbed in the... Yes, you remember? Please keep on writing the answers in the comment section so that I know that you have been following. Fine. So the answer to this question is correct. Large intestine. What is the function of large intestine? In large intestine, all the water from the undigested food is absorbed, right? So the water, complete water absorption takes place in the large intestine. Fine. Moving on to the next question, that is match the columns. In this match the columns, you can see there are two columns given. One is the food components and the second is products of digestion, right? So in the first option for the food components is carbohydrates. So if you remember, in the last video I had given you a flow chart also, where all these important small points have been registered so that you can follow it very nicely. Fine. So you can go through that flow chart again, and if you remember from that, the carbohydrates are broken down into the sugars, right? So the option for, you can match the carbohydrates with sugars. And the next is proteins. The proteins are broken down into amino acids, and the fats are broken down into glycerol and fatty acids. Fine. So moving on, the next question is, what are villi and what is their location and function? So as we have already discussed this, villi are the finger-like projections, and where are they located? They are located on the inner wall of the small intestine. And what is their function? Their function is to increase the surface area for the absorption of digested food, right? The next question is, where is bile produced and which component of food does it help to digest, right? So you might remember this as well. I know you are smart students. The bile is produced by the liver and it helps in the breakdown of fats, right? The next question is that name the carbohydrate which can be digested by the ruminants but not by human beings. So that carbohydrate is the cellulose. Absolutely right. And why is this so? You have to give the reason also in this question. So the reason is because the structure cecum, which contains the cellulose breaking bacteria, is present only in ruminants and it is absent in the human beings. Alright, so our digestive system does not have the cellulose breaking bacteria. That is why we cannot digest the cellulose. Fine. Alright, question number 8 is, why do we get instant energy from glucose? Well, if you see, glucose is already a simple sugar. We do not need to break it down into simple sugar. It is already in the form of a simple sugar. So our body does not need to digest it. It can be directly absorbed by the body. That is why glucose gives us instant energy, right? Moving on to the next question. The next question says that you have to mention which part of the digestive system is involved in the following functions, right? Let's have a look. The first one is absorption of food. So the absorption of food, as you already know, takes place in the small intestine. The second one is chewing of food. Chewing of food takes place in the buccal cavity or the mouth by the teeth, right? And the second is killing of bacteria. The third is killing of bacteria. Killing of bacteria takes place in the stomach. complete digestion of the food takes place in the small intestine. You might remember that we had discussed it. The complete digestion of food takes place when the small intestine releases or secretes the intestinal juice, which helps in the complete breakdown of the food. The next one is formation of feces. Where does it take place? It takes place in the large intestine, where all the water is absorbed and what is left is a semi-solid feces, which is then stored in the rectum and ejected by the anus. The next question is that you have to write one similarity and one difference between nutrition in amoeba and nutrition in humans, right? So there is a lot of differences. There are a lot of differences between the nutrition in amoeba and nutrition in humans, right? First, let's talk about the similarity. The similarity is that in amoeba and in humans, the digestion or the nutrition takes place in the 5 steps, right? The 5 steps of ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion is followed by both amoeba and humans. Differences, there are lots of differences. You can write any one which you like. For example, the amoeba does not have teeth. It does not mechanically break down the food, whereas the humans, they break down the food mechanically, right? In human beings, we have glands which support the digestive system and secrete the juices, whereas in amoeba, we don't have glands per se, but there's only one vacuole which secretes the juices, digestive juices, and helps in the digestion, right? If you can think of more differences or more similarities, please leave your answers in the comment section. Moving on. So the next question, that is match the following. Let's have a look. The first one is salivary gland. What happens in salivary gland? Saliva secretion, right? Then we have stomach. Acid release takes place in the stomach. Liver, the bile juice secretion. Rectum, storage of undigested food. Small intestine, digestion is completed. Large intestine, absorption of water. I don't think so at this point you should have any doubt in doing this match the following, but if you are still facing any problems in doing this, please refer to the videos and make your concepts more clear. Still, if you face any doubts, leave your doubts in the comment section. Fine. The next question is labeling. Okay, you can have a look here. This is the label diagram. Now the last question for the chapter is, can we survive on raw, leafy grasses or vegetables? We have to discuss this. First, let's see. Can we survive on leaves by eating only leaves or grasses or leafy vegetables? So you can write the answer in 2 points or 3 points. First point stating no, we cannot survive by eating the grass or leafy vegetables. Second point, this is because the cellulose breaking bacteria is not present in human beings, so we cannot get the complete nutrition. The third point, the other components of food like proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals are also required by the human body, which are not present in the leafy vegetables or all leafy vegetables and grasses, so it will not be a balanced diet. I hope all the questions of NCERT textbook chapter 2 class 7 science are clear. If you have any doubts, first refer to the videos, get your concepts clear, and if you face any doubts, still if you're facing any doubt, then you can leave your doubts in the comment section. I hope this was helpful. Subscribe to our channel Schoolroom Online and follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. See you next time.